You ready for this? When Lucy wakes up in the morning around 6:45,
We all wake up, get ready for the day.
we start our treatment.
Her vent, it's the first thing, it's blue. You just press the on button and it helps her breathe.
And then we add on her hand braces and her leg braces, and we start the shaker vest, and that lasts for about 30 minutes. So that's when we like kind of shower or eat breakfast and get stuff done. But as soon as the end buzzer goes off, everyone goes to Lucy's room and we take everything off, do a cough assist, which is the machine that forces air into her lungs and then pulls it out.
And the next thing is her suction. It takes all her spit that she can't swallow and it like helps her a lot.
And then we give her the prune juice in the water for her her early morning breakfast.
So she calls it her poop juice because it looks brown. It's her favorite. Lucy still has the desire to have food in her mouth. And so she'll tell me, Mom, I'm so hungry. And I'll be like, I already gave you all your food. And she'll say, no, my mouth is hungry. I haven't eaten in years.
And what's your favorite thing to taste?
Mashed potatoes.
Wait, you like potatoes more than like chocolate?
I don't really eat sugar.
Where's her new outfit?
Drip, 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 drip.
Where's her new outfit? We're losing it too.
Tell Jessie how good it tastes.
Is it yummy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Where's her new outfit?
Prune juice.
And then we have family prayer and probably some scripture time.
And then after that, we brush Lucy's teeth and wipe off her face if there's crusties on it.
Get her dressed, put on her brace, put her in her chair.
And we blend up the food that she eats.
It's just regular food, all blenderized in a Vitamix. And then we just toast the ridges. Yummy, huh?
Maybe.
Then we get her lunch, put it in her backpack.
And run her out to the van to sprint in the morning.
Here we go. Hey, Lou, sing it. Oh, baby.
Nice.
Really nice and sweet.
She gets more than most people that, you can decide how you're going to feel to a certain extent. What would normally drive a complaint or frustration or impatience from somebody, she seems to handle with so much grace and patience. She certainly gets it from her mother.
She may be limited physically, but like her attitude and her determination, she really can do anything she wants. Like I don't put any boundaries on her. If she really wants to do something, then let's try to make it happen.
I'm a fashionista. I'm a chef. I love to write.
Stories?
What's your favorite color? I think I know what it is, but you tell me.
Poop.
Do you have a second favorite?
Purple.
She doesn't hate anybody. Like even if you pulled out her tooth, she still loves you. She will never ever hate you. Unless you killed her mother. She would not like you.
Go ahead.
I got to tell you shit this.
This one might be a little bit hard.
What?
What? Can you tell me about your SMA?
Oh, well, it's actually called small muscular atrophy. It makes it look like her work. So it isn't probably to work.
Her muscles aren't as strong as people normally have their muscles when they're her age.
Over time, her ability to control everything from arms and legs to her swallow, etc., she'll lose control of that.
And since your lungs are a muscle, it makes it so it's hard for her to breathe.
So she's prone to choking at any moment, at any time of day. Even when I'm not around her, I worry about it. So when she's at school, wherever I am, if I get that call, I know exactly how to get back to the school as fast as I can. Something that's really interesting about it is it doesn't affect her brain at all. So her brain is just like any other 6-year-old. She likes Barbies and she fights with her brother and sister sometimes. And I'm grateful because it's so easy to connect with Lucy and to communicate with her. Most SMA type 1s are not able to communicate verbally. Lucy can say whatever she wants, and she does. We had Dallin and Josie, and then I got pregnant with Lucy, and everything was just like any other pregnancy, except I gained a lot more weight. And Lucy was born, everything was fine. We brought her home.
She was crying at night a lot, and so we would, take turns kind of going on long drives just because it seemed to soothe her.
When she was about 4 months old, she started noticing that she was a little bit floppy. Like she could hold her head up, but it wouldn't last very long. And then when I would hold her, she would never push off my legs.
We started getting more and more concerned about it.
And I mentioned it to her doctor. She left the room and she came right back in and she said, the neurologist wants to see you next week. I told my husband, like, we're gonna go see the neurologist. And I didn't really think anything about it. But he started researching and he was really emotional like that whole week.
I was looking online and just came across this diagnosis.
And he's like, I think I found what Lucy has. And he told me it's this terminal disease, like their muscles degenerate. And I told him that he was crazy. So we went to the appointment the next week and the neurologist was checking Lucy out. And when we were in the office, I got a text from Chad.
I said, when they do the screening, ask her about this. Make sure they screen for this.
He texted the name. I was like, here, Chad wants to know if you think that she has this. And she says, I really hope not, but let's test for it just so that you have peace of mind. And then they called us like a week later and they said, we want to meet with you guys at your earliest convenience. And I still didn't think there was really anything wrong. So Chad and I and Lucy met with them and we were sitting in a clinic room and the door opened and our neurologist walked in and our pediatrician. And like that was the moment. It was just like, oh, something's really wrong.
You don't usually send pairs of doctors to things unless it's news.
They just sat down and got right to it and they said Lucy has spinal muscular atrophy. And I looked at Chad and his eyes were already welled up and he was just crying.
And so they let us know that the prognosis was typically 18 months.
We asked them, is there anything we can do? And they said there's no treatment, no cure, so just take her home, love her, just enjoy the time that you have with her.
It was heartbreaking and all the things we experienced after that, hospital trips and intubations and conversations and thoughts that this could be it, and moments when she had lost color and it could have been it.
A lot of people describe kids like her a ticking time bomb. Nobody can predict, nobody can say. It's not like that. She could be around 15 more years, she could be around a month. Like you don't know. You just don't know. And so yeah, that's how it happened. What's the thing that you don't like?
Sometimes I don't get hurt, and someone steps on me.
Does that happen a lot?
Well, sometimes. Sometimes they do not like to be uncomfortable.
Are you uncomfortable a lot?
Sometimes. Sometimes I have to have it.
Who scratches your itch?
My mom or my dad.
It affects every aspect of our life, every aspect. I mean, there isn't a moment or an activity that doesn't involve a thought about Lucy and how it affects her.
My parents get stressed. They try to help me and Dallin, and then they try to help Lucy at the same time.
Fortunately, both raised in families where self-pity and sorrow are unproductive emotions, and very grateful for all the support that we've had, both additional hands helping us lift and prayers and peace and blessings to help us have a good attitude and work through the pretty challenging things.
What would you tell another kid that has SMA if they were sad about it? What would you tell them to make them feel better?
That's okay.
Anything else?
Sometimes it doesn't make sense. When they hurt, they have to cut their breath. Then they will start crying. I'm sure my husband will.
My perspective is that life is hard for everyone. And this is just something that life has thrown us, and it is possible to be happy and for your child to be happy.
My dad, he has to earn, make a ton of money.
She certainly has the harder job. It's easier to be at work than it is to be at home.
What do you think about your mommy?
Well, she's okay.
She's great.
She has 2 jobs. That's why she tries to finish it all while we're at school, and she has time to spend time with us.
Does she need help?
Something that I want people to know about children like Lucy, not even specifically her diagnosis, is looking at Lucy, she looks complicated, but it's nowhere near the full picture. There's so much more to taking care of Lucy. So here's Lucy, and then these are all the services and all the lines of services and doctors and providers that Lucy has. And these are people that I talk to every month, sometimes every week, sometimes every day about Lucy's care. I feel like I'm always at appointments for her power chair, or to fit her Rex arms, or a battery's broken, or there's just constantly something, or there's paperwork to hand in, like to renew.
Do you ever relax during the day?
No. No, I have like my face, like it's always sore because it's just tight all the time. I have to constantly tell myself to not clench my jaw. Pretty sad.
Why does she have to go there? Why does it have that shit on it? Why is she going on that thing?
That's just how Lucy talks. That's to help her breathe. She's not able to walk, so she uses the power chair to walk.
How does she get in the car?
We have a ramp that when we open, I push a button and the door opens and a ramp comes out and she drives right into the car. And then we buckle her down.
How do you buckle her down? Some little kids who don't know what's going on like stare at her and she's like, hi. And sometimes in my mind I'm like, a picture lasts longer.
I know, she shouldn't carry you.
Can I please carry on the way there? No. Please. No.
Okay, Jess.
Fine.
Here, don't upset her. I don't know. Here, how about you carry yourself, she said.
I already do.
Get along with Josie?
Sometimes.
Just sometimes?
Sometimes no. Sometimes she steals my things. She took my heartbeat parents.
Did that make you mad?
I was like, what's going on?
When a girl at school is, bothering us, like I try to stand up for Lucy, but it's kind of hard. And my mom says, are you responsible for everything that happens to Lucy? And she's like, no, I am. I'm responsible for every single breath she takes. But I don't really listen that much because I still feel like I'm responsible for her.
So there's like an overall kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's fairly happy,
Mhm.
fairly centered, it seems like.
Mhm.
What the hell's going on?
I think it mostly has to do with our faith.
Has she been in the hospital much lately?
No, she hasn't been to the hospital for the past 3 years.
Why do you think that is?
Well, since she has like the proper machines, and we always pray that Lucy will be healthy, and she has been for the past 3 years.
I think one of the biggest purposes of any faith is to provide peace and answers to things that would be difficult to find an answer to scientifically.
We belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and then we also believe in the afterlife and that families are forever.
One of the greatest sources of hope for us is that Lucy will be resurrected.
And when we're resurrected, our bodies will be perfect. It's something that my kids talk about and Lucy talks about, like, when I'm resurrected, I'll be able to run and chase you, and it's a happy thing. Lucy, she'll always be my daughter, whether she's on this side or that side. It followed her to school one day, school one day, school one day. It followed her to school one day. This was against the rule. Once she told me, Mom, I love school because I feel like I'm myself there, which it makes sense because she's independent of me. Like, she's doing her own thing. And just her friends, and she has her little social, it's her world.
Well, it's really pretty.
It's really pretty.
But a lot of kids that can be friends with.
All the kids love her. She keeps on saying, I'm so popular, I'm famous. Since everyone's like, hi Lucy. She really likes that since she likes being in the spotlight.
Are the other kids different than you?
Well, this is in different ways.
Does it ever bother you? that You're different than
No.
people?
I like who I am.
I like who you are too.
You're pretty cool.
I think a lot of people like who you are. So who is Charlie?
Told him that.
Tell them about Charlie.
Well, he really likes me. He likes Minecraft. And he has a Minecraft that puts his penny on. And he sets it all around to the time and sometimes. I was surprised this little I said, ah! That time, he asked me to marry him.
And what'd you say?
Well, I said no.
Was it a no, like no way ever, or a no, maybe in the future sometime?
Maybe in the future sometime.
All right.
Hopefully the time will come where she gets to an age where she realizes, you know, I'm kind of stable and the world is open to me through, you know, all these technological advances and support she has.
I want to be a chef,
Is there anything else you want to be?
a pop star.
A pop star.
I have a beautiful voice.
You have a beautiful voice. Oh, you have a beautiful voice, or you want a beautiful voice?
I have one.
I have one. I just want her to be happy. I want her to be able to do the things that she loves to do.
I want her to be able to continue to be kind of challenged physically and mentally. I want her to feel what it's like to have to try hard at something and then get it.
I just want her to feel like, you know, like this is her world and she's not just stuck at home, not able to go anywhere or do anything, but just, you know, go out and explore and be Lucy.